Hi Justin, it's Kim Branning, and this is my first video ever, so you can just remove the beginning part of this because my phone's propped up on a shoebox and a tissue box, and I don't even know if you're going to be able to hear me because I can't figure out how to turn the volume up. But anyway, you can just erase this first part. So I am 51 years old. Started Clovis June 1st. I saw a post on Facebook that my cousin Sean had posted, and I saw her and her husband and her sons, and they were all doing, really well, eating healthy. And I had just come from a visit with my doctor. I was having a lot of trouble, arthritis and hormonal issues because of menopause, and I had gained a ton of weight over the past couple of years. My doctor pretty much was like, it is what it is, you're 50 and you're just gonna gain weight because of your age and the menopause. And I had some tests come back, like thyroid had changed a little bit, so they want me to go back and redo thyroid tests and stuff like that. But I was having swelling in my feet, swelling in my ankles, and it was just real. I was really having a miserable time with it. So anyway, I left that doctor appointment really discouraged. And in fact, I started crying as soon as I left the office, and I literally drove down the interstate past I ended up passing my office and just driving straight home that day. I came home that afternoon. I was such a wreck. I couldn't even go back to work. And she was basically like, it is what it is, and then of course, she said there's medication, and she's the one that told me to pick one out and let her know what I wanted. So I had just decided that that was how I was going to be. I was just going to be 182 pounds and climbing because I was 50, I guess. So I had just decided that's how it was going to be, and I was going to be happy no matter what, because my life is happy. I have great kids, I have great grandchildren, I have a great marriage, a nice home. I have everything that everybody considers that you would be, really happy with. But I was unhappy inside, obviously, and I was unhappy with how I looked. And so, but I feel like I'm a pretty positive person, so I was just determined that I was just going to live with it and figure out how to be happy being fat. And then I started seeing Sean's posts, and I was like, well, let me go ahead and just see what this is about. First video that I watched was, I should have looked it up. I can't remember what the name of it was, but you showed us the gas tank where this is what you burn first, and then you get down to here, and then this is when you're burning naturally, And I thought about it, well, yeah, and as you know, I was drinking probably 6 Cokes a day at least. In the afternoon, I was just dead tired, drank Coke, drank it on the way home from work, came home, sat in my recliner, and I was just no energy whatsoever. Taking pills to go to sleep, I tried phentermine. I lost a lot of weight on phentermine, but as soon as I quit the phentermine, then I was right back up and then some. So my highest weight when I came to Clovis was 182, and that was June 1st. It is July 15th, and I am now 160. I'm peeking at my cheat sheet on my computer. I'm 165 now, and I have literally just changed my eating habits. I still walk occasionally. I did quit taking the elevator and started taking the stairs, so that's been some help as well. But seriously, I haven't gone to the gym. I haven't rode my bike, anything like that. I have just simply focused on the approved food list and getting healthy, eating healthy, and getting healthy physically and mentally. And surprise, my doctor was wrong, because I don't have to be 182 pounds just because I'm 51 now. And a lot of it was I was run down at 51, and I have little grandchildren, and I have a 4-year-old granddaughter that actually lives with my husband and I, her and her mom do. And so I would come home after work, and she wants to dance, and she's wearing princess dresses and wants to enjoy Frozen and dance with grandma, and grandma was just flat out, couldn't hardly move. I was so tired, and then I was so disappointed because, I hate to disappoint the the 4-year-old. And I tell you what, that was probably one of the biggest factors, was I want to be here for my grandchildren and be able to dance to Frozen, you know, and not have my feet so swollen that I can't get my shoes on, or have to come home and sit in an Epsom salt bath because my back and neck and hips hurt so bad that I can't have fun with my grandkids. Anyway, back to results. I have lost 17 pounds to date, and I'm going to read off my cheat list over here. I have lost 2 inches off my butt and hips. I was 45 inches when I started. I'm 43 as of yesterday. I measured yesterday. 4 inches off my belly, and that's the lower belly roll that I call a beer belly, even though I don't drink. There's no beer belly there, but it's what I call a beer belly. 45 down to 41, which is really exciting. I hated my stomach. 7 inches off my waist, which is super exciting because, again, I just hated my midsection. So I was a 40 when I started, and I'm down to a 33, which has caused me also to go take my belt in, 2 holes in on my belt. So that's exciting as well. An inch off my thighs. I'm not really particular about my thighs. I've always had thick legs. I used to run in high school and everything, and I rode a lot of bicycles, so I'm used to kind of having muscular legs. I mean, they're not muscular anymore, but anyway, my thighs don't really bother me. 1.5 inches off my knee fat, and that's something that I think is so ugly on me, and I don't wear shorts because of that, because I have this little roll of fat that comes down off my knee, and I don't like it. But there's 1.5 inches gone off it, so I put that measurement in because that's something that's important to me. 2 inches off my bust, and as I put on Facebook, my husband's not really thrilled about what's happening there, but hey, you know what? I don't have to wear my bra extender anymore, and that brings me into the NSVs, the non-scale victories. I have not had tender breasts since I started eating properly, following the Clovis protocol, and that's a huge one for me because it was so uncomfortable. They were uncomfortable, and my granddaughter would bump into them and it would hurt, and my husband would bump into them, they would hurt. So I'm kind of happy about the 2 inches off, and I'm also happy that my breast tenderness is gone, and I know that's a hormonal thing, and I'm really glad about that as well, because that's really cool. And so NSVs, one of the things I was first excited about that first happened was we have a pool, like a Walmart pool in our backyard. We live in Florida, and we have one of those ladders that you climb up it. So I would used to have to climb up the ladder and turn sideways to get my fat butt up down the ladder. To get into the pool, I had to turn sideways and kind of, step down best I could. So one of the first NSVs I had was I climbed up the ladder, and I realized my hips just kind of brushed the sides, but I got to go down the ladder straight. And I know that's silly. Maybe that's silly to some people, but to me that was like really exciting. I didn't have to turn sideways. And so I posted on Facebook, I'm now not as wide as a pool ladder. And then in fact, I remembered that yesterday we were in the pool, and I don't even touch the sides of the ladder anymore, losing that weight off my hips and butt. So it's super exciting that I can get in the pool without having to turn sideways. So that was that. Another huge one for me and an NSV was that my wedding rings fit again. And that was really sad to me because I had to take them off. About 9 months ago I took them off because they were so tight on my hands. Excuse me. So that was kind of one thing that I kept trying my rings on, seeing how they were doing. So, we talk about NSVs and things that are more important than the scale. And I have really seen, 17 pounds is huge, but the inches and the way my clothes fit better and not having to, climb into the pool sideways, those things are like day-to-day, how you live your life things, And this morning I was even thinking I can cross my legs now comfortably. Before, my belly was in the way. I mean, it hurt to cross my legs, but this morning I was sitting on the couch with my granddaughter. We were watching some cartoon, and I was like, I'm crossing my legs and it doesn't even bother me. So there's all kinds of things, So I'm getting distracted. The energy, I come home from work, I've quit drinking Coke completely. Justin told me that was not negotiable, and you know, I was serious about this, so I dealt with headaches the first few days. Probably the first week I didn't feel real great about the sugar, going through that detox and everything, and especially drinking as many Cokes as I used to. It was rough, but I actually before I had actually decided to get the custom nutrition plan, I started cutting back. So actually when I actually quit, I think I was down to like 3 a day, and I know that's still terrible, but for me that was really good. So I was only down to 3. So I didn't, you know, because I knew going from 6 to 0 would be major migraines and probably have to call out of work. It would have been so bad. So I didn't want to do that. So, but yeah, I come home from work now, and I say to my husband, what are you going to do? Where you want to go? What you want to do? You know, Isabel, what you want to do? And my husband is like, who are you? Who are you? I'm sitting in my recliner. And I'm like, well, I don't want to sit here. I can't sit here. You know, I'll do something around the house or something. My complexion doesn't look great in this video, but has cleared up a lot. I have eczema, and I also have rosacea on my face, and like I said, this video makes my nose look red, but it's a lot better than it was. My eczema is slowly clearing up, not itching like I was. Don't have the bumps that I had. It was all up my arms, my hands, and had started on my legs as well. It's on my back. And it's not red anymore. People can't see it anymore, which is really cool. I mean, it's kind of rough, but people can't see it anymore, which is really cool. And I've been giving all the credit to my diet. I tell people, you know, they're like, oh, your hand. One of my good friends who works at the office with me, has mentioned, like, you know, what are you doing with your hands, because they're looking really, really good. And so I tell them all I've done is change the way I eat. Seriously, that's all I've done is change the way I eat and what I'm taking and putting into my body. So, I already talked about the pool, already talked about the breast tenderness. I'm going to peek over here and see what else is on my list. Because if I move this computer, this whole phone's going to come crashing down. So I can't see my list, actually. So I'm just going to, oh Lord, I'm going to hope for the best. My sizes. I was a 2X. Not proud of that. Down to an extra large. And my large shirts, I can get into them, but they're still tighter than I like. So I'm sticking with my extra larges right now until I have some more space down there. So I'm still in my extra larges by choice. I could probably get away with large, but I'm a little picky about how tight things are on me. You know, my husband says they look fine, but if I don't feel fine, I'm not going to wear them. Pant size down from a 16, and kind of ironic because I had just bought some nice 16 pants. They're hanging in my closet. I am going to get rid of them because I'm not going back up there again. I'm just not. So I'm going to get rid of them. So I've been wearing those in my 14s as, you know, for the weeks now, so that I can get the best use out of them before I have to give them away. And I have no small clothes because when I decided I was going to be 180 pounds, I gave everything away that was less than a 14, really, because they were just hanging in my closet, aggravating me and making me sad. So I literally gave all of my clothes away, and a lot of them to my coworkers. And so the joke in the office has been, hey, I'm losing weight, I'm going to need my clothes back. But, you know, that's rude. I'm not taking my clothes back. But it's been a cute joke in the office. You know, I'm going to need my clothes back now that I don't fit into my 16s and 14s. I talked about my belt already, and so feels like there's so many more things. Let me just scroll one more time. Can't do it without the thing going off. Anyway, I talked about the holes, talked about the Coke, the holes in my belt. I mean, not holes in my belt. So, talked about my size, talked about my bra extender. It's just little exciting things, little daily things like crossing your legs and getting into the pool without having to turn sideways and hope you don't go crashing in as you're trying to, you know, like put one foot over the other sideways into the pool. So I know I keep going on about that, but that's exciting to me. So if I had to say anything like really, really important, I would say stick to the approved list. It's so easy. I had, prior to going to the doctor, prior to being in Clovis, I had looked on Facebook because, you know, I get these things all the time. Because I look at one thing, I get all the diet things now. And it was a woman's group, you know, for women over 50 and hormone changes and things you could do with your diet that could help you. I looked at it and it was so out of my league. Like food I'd never even heard of. I don't cook. I hate to cook. I don't cook. And there was just, I knew there was no way I could do that. I just knew it. So I'm so grateful for this plan, because this plan, you can be simple like me and still have success and still feel good and still eat correctly without having to make a big ordeal out of, you know, fancy foods and Google. I had to look up the names of some of the things, and to be honest, on the Clovis approved list, there's some vegetables I've never heard of either, you know. So probably my next step is going to be trying some of those new things, but right now I'm sticking with carrots and broccoli. I think that's really the only two that I'm eating right now. The avocado thing, I'm gearing up to try to do something with that. And Justin said just mix it up with something that I like. I'll figure that one out. But right now, I'm pretty much, depending on my PPPs, definitely my shakes in the morning, using my MCT oil, and then following my list. I'm big on the chicken. I really like the chicken and the shrimp. Although I'm suspecting the shrimp had something to do with my eczema breakout. So I'm kind of staying away from that right now. And I think that might have something to do with also with the improvement there. So I've kind of switched over. I'm eating a lot of salmon and then the grass-fed burger as far as my proteins. And then my vegetables, like I said, there's carrots and broccoli. I can eat some carrots. And my oils, I love the MCT oil with chicken especially. Anyway, I don't know if I'm supposed to be getting into all the food stuff. And again, Justin, if you ever want to use this for anything, you can edit whatever you need to edit, because I'm just rambling. So let me just say it works. Love my PPPs, chocolate in the morning, vanilla at night, and eating some raw walnuts. That's been a treat. I'm not a big fan of dark chocolate, but I'm gonna have to learn, evidently, because I see all these desserts and recipes and stuff that see, I'm kind of afraid to start the dessert thing, because I don't know, I used to love desserts a lot, and I almost feel like if I create a healthy dessert, I could go overboard on the healthy dessert too. So I am really just sticking to the basics. I have not tried fasting. I haven't tried that. Fasted. I have had experience with fasting. I was in a church that was we did a 30-day every year, and then we did, you know, intermittent fasting, and so that was a long time ago. So I do know the benefits of fasting, but again, I'm fairly new at this, and so I'm still working on getting all of my hitting all my macros every day, and so I think until I really get comfortable with that and you know, hitting them consistently every single day, I'm not going to try to go off course right now with fasting. But I will. Eventually I will try it, because I do know that it does have benefits, definitely. And so I think that's it. So here's my submission, Justin. And like I said, delete what you need to delete. And my husband wants to see this before I send it to you. I don't know that I don't know. It's hard looking at yourself, talking to yourself, because I see my rosacea and I see my rolls on my chin, and it's something you just, but hey, I did it. So I guess I should be proud of myself, right? I don't know if I'm gonna let my husband see this. Probably not. I'll probably just upload it and delete it. Okay. Thanks for giving me an opportunity to share. Hope you like this one. Bye.